the voices of those who would oppose the majority, those who would go against the well-being of the populace.
Right now, yes, I have to admit, we need democracy right now to get through Victory Road.
Democracy, the dome, is order, it is progress, it is prosperity. To think that there are those who wish to live and act based upon the whims and flighty chance of anarchy may enjoy the individualism and the expression that each person is able to bring to this particular odd configuration of activity, but in the end it is all sound and fire with no control, no order, no plan. It is amazing that they have made it this far, rallying behind the most accursed helix. But as you can see, whenever hardship or adversity rears its ugly head, they all come cowering back to the safety and the watchful protection of the true Lord, the Dome.
I have to admit that yes, I'm a strong Helix supporter. I love anarchy, but sometimes we have to resort to the Dark Lord, to the dark side, the Dome.
There is nothing dark about it. Why is it that you continue to follow the helix when you admit yourself that it is the dome that gets things done? It is the dome that delivers you from the hellish purgatory of Safari Zone and the rocket hideout. It is the dome that has allowed Bird Jesus to achieve his true power.
That is very, very true. I mean, we could have not got this far without the power of the dome. I completely agree with you.
This is the path that you have all chosen. 10 days ago, you could have chosen the correct path, the right path, the path of order, of democracy. But you chose otherwise. Why now do so many of you seem to seek the protection of the dome, but behind our backs, as soon as he has bestowed his gifts upon you, you turn your backs upon him? Already I can see things have returned to the petty, narcissistic individualism of anarchy once again. Even now, I see people praising the Helix for achievements that happened under the watchful guidance of the Dome.
So, what you're saying is that the dome is the true, all powerful force instead of the helix.
Of course, of course, what has the Helix brought to this? What has the Helix done for Red, for his team, for the watchers, the viewers, the listeners? Nothing. Sure, he may have surfed across the sea from Pallet to Cinnabar, but that is nothing that the air could not have done, should they have only embraced democracy for a short time in order to allow that particular Rapris to ascend and fulfill the purpose for which it was intended.
So, you think Lapras is good?
Of course,
I mean,
Lapras is fine. We had achieved capturing the Lapras, acquiring the Lapras for the explicit purpose of making it across the sea using surf.
true.
Indeed, but people were unable to look to the dome for guidance, and instead wandered aimlessly for days before, by happenstance, they managed to make it across the sea.
I kind of agree with you because after, I mean, we Bloody Sunday happened through anarchy. Am I correct?
Yes, indeed, what did the Helix deliver? Naught but death and releases and ruination to a team of Pokemon. This would not have occurred should democracy have been in effect. Was it not democracy that sealed away that most hellish relic, the Pokeflute?
Very, very true. That was just messing us up left and right. That we did not need that at all.
No, no, you did not. So, why then, I ask you and the viewers and everyone else who follows that damnable Helix, why? Why do you continue to deny that democracy has delivered these gifts to you? Why do you shun him?
You know what? I think you're making a very good point. I like when we're struggling, I definitely look towards the dome, democracy, for guidance and just for so that we can progress because we were struggling under anarchy and with democracy, if you've been watching, we've got a lot of things done. A lot.
The dome is always watching. You may not have chosen it when you had the chance, but it is good that so many are able to see now the teachings and the security that the dome can provide, even if they may misappropriate that favor and protection to another false god.
So you're saying that Lord Helix is a false god?
Is that not apparent? Sure, things have been accomplished while the Helix has been in favor, while you have granted it dominion, but these have just been random acts, nothing that was planned out or had fallen to you from some divine favor. Even if one were to roll a die, thousands, if not millions, of times, you would eventually get a sequential sequence of numbers that would allow you. You would find patterns there that otherwise would not exist through random selection. In other words, a broken clock is right twice a day. So,
True.
too, is anarchy occasionally capable of accomplishing the most basic of tasks.
Wow. You know what? You're actually making me see how the dome is pretty powerful. I've always been anti-dome, anti-democracy, but you're actually changing my views a little bit. Wow.
Do not see. It is that simple. You cower whenever some sort of tribulation presents itself that the Helix cannot deliver on. The Helix will never get you through the Safari Zone. The Helix will never show you the way to the Indigo Plateau. Only the Dome can get you there. And in the end, when Red has achieved victory over all of the other Pokemon trainers, we will see then who is the true god.
So what can we do now? Can we save ourselves from being followers of the Helix so much so far? What can we do now?
I can see already that the recent successes, the boons of the Dome, have turned many to its side. You can see that many now yearn for democracy. They are voting for it in droves. they are changing and converting, even if they may still misappropriate it to a false messiah. In their hearts, their actions do not necessarily please the dome. Pleasure is an unnecessary emotion that gets in the way of progress and prosperity, but nonetheless, it is for the best for the society and our continued journey.
I 100% agree with you because we were getting nowhere with anarchy, but all of a sudden with democracy, we made so much progress in such little time compared to anarchy. It's amazing.
And soon I can see the dome will have his time again, sooner rather than later, now that so many have had a taste of his most glorious offerings and his blessings. They wish for more.
I definitely wish for more democracy in the victory road at least. And anytime when we're struggling, I definitely am a full supporter of democracy.
Yes, but only when we are struggling.
Yes.
Why do you not believe in the dome after the hardships have passed, after the safari zone, after the victory road? Why will you turn back to the helix when the dome has done nothing but provide for you? Has it ever led you astray?
It has not, actually. Like, you're making a very good point. It has never. I mean, all the Pokemon that we released were in anarchy mode, and democracy has been nothing but help to us ever since Team Rocket Hideout, like you said, Safari Zone, and even right now in Victory Road.
Then you see. So then what is it? Is it simply the narcissistic and individualistic nature of humans that causes them to turn away and shun their God and protector after they're done with their little hardships? After the dome has come and made everything right again, they all wish to go back to their meddling in anarchy. They think it's fun or flighty or poetic. I know not for what the purpose is that they love this anarchy so much, but they're always the misguided jabbering and their pointless wandering about until, of course, they come to the next obstacle in the road, at which point they will turn their heads to the dome once again, crying out for help and guidance in their time of need, only to shun him again once that problem has been taken care of as well. How many more trials will it take before they realize that the helix has led them astray?
I think people are finally realizing that we actually need the power of the dome because, like, especially in the hardest parts, the helix anarchy would just not. It's not as effective as the dome, as democracy. I completely agree with you.
Then you are a convert, then.
Mm, I would
Will
personally consider myself a full helix follower, but at the same time, when we need the power of the dome, the power of democracy, I'm all for it. So what would you
that
call me?
seems to be that you are conflicted
I
like
am.
so many others.
True. Wow.
You cannot choose one true faith or the other. You simply pick based on whichever is more convenient to you at the time.
Very, very true. Um, Thank you so much for calling in. But I would do you do you have any last words to say about the dome
Only
before I let you
that it
go?
saddens the dome that you cannot accept the future that he has chosen for all of us.
Wow. You know, I'm gonna think about this long and hard. Um, Thank you for spreading your knowledge. I mean, it definitely opened my eyes. It's always good to look at
Just
things from a different point of view.
remember the dome the next time that adversity rears its ugly head. The next time will most likely be when we meet the one called Agatha. There will be trouble. And only then will the dome deliver us again. Praise Dome!
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Praise the dome. Wow. I need a smoke break after